What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the debut album from the band Frozen Soul, entitled Crypt of Ice. This is released on Century Media Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Fort Worth, Texas, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very traditional, dark, mystical style of death metal. Yeah. What better way to kick off 2021 than by talking about a band that has been making a lot of waves over the last several years and are now finally coming out with a proper debut full-length album. My first introduction to this band was their 2019 debut demo entitled Encased in Ice. This was during the boom period in which Maggot Stomp were making a name for themselves by putting out some very, very strong and solid quality demos from some really, really killer new up-and-coming bands. One of those bands being Frozen Soul. Of course, this demo had a lot of promise and a lot of potential. 3 really killer tracks and a sick Mortician cover. This band had a very, very strong and dynamic sort of sound and approach to them. One of the many comparisons I always hear about them is Bolt Thrower. In terms of the riffs, in terms of the vocal deliveries, well, I can totally understand that there is a big Bolt Thrower influence within this band. This is not Bolt Thrower we're talking about here. We're talking about Frozen Soul. And they have just enough of a unique approach and dynamic to their sound to make them stand out on their own. And of course, seeing this band live only further valued my appreciation for what Frozen Soul were setting out to do. Great stage presence, intense charisma, a lot of heavy riffs, a lot of great detail in their music, and it only made me excited to see what big things were going to be coming for them in the future. And of course, the big thing being them signing to Century Media and putting out news that they were going to be releasing their debut full-length album with them. Of course, my anticipation was very heightened for what was going to soon to come from them. And of course, here we are with Crypt of Ice, their debut studio full-length. It's 10 tracks, and it clocks in at around 39 minutes in length. And pretty much this is the full circle moment for Frozen Soul in terms of their musical output, in terms of their deliveries, in terms of just how passionate these people are in making death metal. And this is a very, very solid and worthwhile debut full-length album. If you are a fan of the Encased in Ice demo, I think you're going to love Crypt of Ice that much more. This is definitely something you want to listen to while you're playing Mortal Kombat as Sub-Zero and you're ready to just take somebody's head off, rip their head off, the spine dangling down, and the blood leaking down afterwards after the fatality victory. That's the type of feeling you get when you listen to Crypt of Ice, and I definitely think it shows here. Musically, this band just knows how to deliver the riffs, and they deliver plenty of them here. The way the riffs are played, the way everything sounds, the tone quality, just such great delivery and attention to detail. Of course, the songs you heard on Encased in Ice are brand new and improved here on this album, and I think they sound really, really great. Of course, you have some newer tracks like Arctic Stranglehold, Beat to Dust, Twist the Knife, just to name a few. The guitar riffs on here are fantastic. I absolutely love the attention to detail being brought with these riffs. It's very incredible. The bass tone on here is very, very awesome. I love the way the bass sounds, the way everything rattles. It has a very nice rumbling tone going for it. And of course, it has that same sort of punch and quality that these riffs have throughout this entire album, and I think it's wildly, wildly entertaining. The drumming on here is sensational. I just love the pace of this record. I like the fact that Frozen Soul isn't one of those fast-paced, pedal-to-the-metal sort of bands. They take their time with their musical deliveries. And of course, with making mid-paced stuff, you gotta have a mid-paced sort of drum performance. And with this drum performance, I think this guy gets the job done wonderfully here. I love the snare tone. I love the blast beats. When they come and make their presence felt, it's very very, very awesome. And when it comes to the vocals, I love this vocalist. This guy is such a commanding presence. I mean, the first time I got to see him do his thing with Frozen Soul and his other band, End Times, he has this microphone stand that basically is made out of a chain. I don't know what the hell he did to his mic stand, but it's probably one of the coolest mic stands in extreme metal history. Just the way he holds the mic stand while he's doing his vocals and banging his head just shows you the type of charisma and passion this guy has for doing music. And of course, his vocal delivery is very, very awesome. Once again, getting a little bit of that bolt thrower influence with the very low, whispered, hushy sort of tones, but he does so in a way that's very, very evil, monstrous. He makes you pay attention to everything that's going on. And that's what I appreciate about this vocal performance on Crypt of Ice, on not only with the older songs, but with the newer songs too. I definitely think that he commands your attention and makes you want to pay attention to everything going on here. He has that much of a commanding presence, and that's what I love about his vocal performance. So overall, Frozen Soul are the real deal. I knew they were the real deal when I first heard their demo, and I'm very happy that this band is going to be making some big, big waves in the future. Whether it happens now, next year, or many years after, Frozen Soul are going to be making an impact for many more years to come with Crypt of Ice, and I would highly recommend it if you are into new death metal, or just death metal that has that dark, cold sort of flair going for it. Call them cold bolt thrower all you want. This band is Frozen Soul to the T. So, if I do think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Crypt of Ice, Arctic Stranglehold, Beat to Dust, Twist the Knife, and the last closing tracks of Faceless Enemy and Gravedigger are really good too. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album. Listen to it. I will leave you links to some music videos that are currently available and streaming on YouTube. They have some really killer music videos that they put out for this album. And I will also link you to where you can purchase physical copies. To the best of my knowledge, it is available physically as a Digipack CD and a 12-inch vinyl. And hopefully this album will stay in print. Hopefully this will stay out of the hands of record flippers. So, again, the album is Crypt of Ice by Frozen Soul. This is released on Century Media Records. Go check this one out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 8.5 out of 10. Very high quality new death metal from a band that's going to be making a difference in the genre for many more years to come. So, if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, or any of you guys into Frozen Soul, definitely let me know. I'm looking cool this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until next time, Armijo out.